Right then guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Hope you've all enjoyed your Monday. If you're a Newcastle fan, you won't have enjoyed the weekend as we got knocked out of the FA Cup against League One Cambridge United. Big up to them, came up and showed us what to do and how to win a game. And big up to the fans who have no doubt had a fantastic night out on the big market on Saturday night as well. As a Newcastle fan, if we weren't already worried about this season and not getting relegated, what that did was show us exactly why we need to go out and spend this January window. If we didn't know it already, we especially know it now. But not to worry, because Sky Sports Saturday Social with James Olcott and Specs have given us the 5 players Newcastle need to stay up. We aren't going to watch the full video. The full video will be down in the description. I actually watch James Olcott quite a lot. He has his own YouTube channel and generally makes quite a bit of sense in his videos. I will say, however, the video they've posted here is semi-serious, but you'll notice from the first player that he picks, it's very out there. But we'll watch it anyway. I thought it would be fun, obviously, for a Newcastle fan to go through what these guys have got to say and for us to kind of have the conversation together in the comments on, first of all, whether we think they're a player that will be good for us, but also whether we think it's a realistic signing or not. And I'll be honest, the first one is not realistic. But before we get on to the first player, you will see that he's already listed 6 players on the pitch. He is going to obviously add another 5. Dubravka, Trippier, very happy with. Same with St. Max. Callum Wilson would have been on there had he been fit. They do say that. And they also talk about Joelinton a little bit as well and the fact that he missed out. I would put a question mark over Lascelles, Shelvey and Fraser. If I'm being completely honest, I think Joelinton would probably be one of the first players on my team sheet. But, and they do actually talk about that. They actually say that the team he's trying to play is more attacking, and obviously Joelinton's a bit more of a midfield workhorse for us at the minute. So I will respect what he has done with his decision, but yeah, let's get on to the players, and we'll talk through each one of them as we go. So the first one, as I say, is pretty out there, but we'll have a listen.
Before you turn off this video or off the channel, but I'm going big early. I'm going to Ligt. Now wait, hear me out. Yes, it's punchy. Yes, it's a little bit naughty. But if you're going to, like I'm saying, with certain players you're going to buy, either you're going to have them on a short-term deal and you want to get a bit of an impact and just stay up this season. You're not going to do anything else apart from that. Or you want someone to build a team around. This is a lot of my budget, but
all of your budget.
So hang on. So this is like, let's say 70 million for him. It's quite a lot, but or maybe you can get 65. If I was reading a report, it was saying that Juventus.
Okay, so number 1 is Ligt, Juventus centre back. He's talking 70 million there. I would be tempted to say it's possibly even higher. And it's not to say that we don't have the money, but he is already linked with Chelsea, Barcelona, and a few clubs that are slightly higher in the league than second bottom. So not that I wouldn't say that he is a fantastic player and it would give a massive thumbs up to that. I think the reality of this one happening is 0. And the fact that they are pretty much taking the mick out of James for picking him kind of says that as well. I do like the fact that he talks about, not just signing a player to stay up, trying to sign a player who will have a longer term future. But also at the same time, it is January and we haven't got much time as it is. I think a deal like that would just be insane. We are linked with other centre-backs already. We're linked with Botman. We are linked with Diego Carlos as well. I think the Botman deal is looking sketchy because they don't want to sell him. I think Diego Carlos, I'm quite confident on that one, actually. Not that I normally like to speculate too much, but I quite like that one. But yeah, let me know what you think of the Ligt idea here. He does actually go on to talk about let's see.
On him. So although they spent 85 million initially, as time goes on, he's been there a couple of years. He's not a regular starter there. This is your Vincent Kompany. Oh, that was a good line, wasn't it? That was a good line.
He liked that one. I mean, I do like that as well. I like the idea of kind of bringing someone in early and trying to really be the leader of what is a new era. But I think De Ligt is just a bit insane, to be honest. But who knows? Who knows what might happen? Let's move on to the second player. Now, I really like this one as well, but I should say I have already watched this video. I watched it before. Obviously, I had to pick up the points in the video where the players were spoken of. I really like this one. From what I've heard, I don't think it's happening, but we will listen in.
This is what I mean. You know, take my picks as a whole.
Okay.
You know, as a 5. Don't judge me just yet. So we're spending the rest of our budget to a point on Luca Digne. Now, Luca Digne he's just fallen out with the manager. Apart from that, he's a good left back.
Yeah, and I would be tempted to say he's a great left back. Effectively, Luca Digne, Everton left back, has fallen out with Rafa Benitez. As I understand, we've actually already made contact with Everton, not only about a bid for him, but also a potential deal that would involve a swap with Sean Longstaff going the other way. I think even separately, Rafa Benitez is interested in taking Sean Longstaff over to Everton regardless. I think that's... I would really like this one, rumoured at around 25 million. From what I've heard, he has a lot of interest. He has interest from clubs further south. I think Chelsea are one of the teams who were interested. Obviously, Chilwell has injury troubles, and then Alonso is not the player he used to be. And from what I've heard, he's just not interested in coming to Newcastle. He wants to move down to London, which is fine. So yeah, for me, thumbs up in terms of the player, but would it happen? In the middle. Again, if it gets near the end of the window and no one's picked him up yet, maybe it could happen. So I'm not saying it can't. I think left back's definitely a place we could do with help. In fairness, Specs actually goes on to talk about Jamal Lewis and the fact that when he has played, he's actually been all right, which I would tend to agree with, especially under Eddie Howe. But it's again, he's been injured and he's not playing, and Richie's not good enough left back for me anymore. If anything, we need to put Richie left wing and just get him to swing the ball in. Once we have a striker, that is, because we don't have anyone to swing the ball into right now. Paul Dummett is apparently looking... Well, he is back from injury. I think he was on the bench, wasn't he, against Cambridge United at the weekend. And again, he's not going to win any awards, but he will kick the ball out when there's danger, and I think Paul Dummett could still be a big help to us for the rest of this season. So that's the left-back situation. We're moving into midfield now. See what they've got to say here.
Go to a loan signing in your midfield to partner what appears to be John Joe Shelby, maintaining his place to a lack of Joe Linton, which is a disgrace.
Due to the other quality that I'm about to bring in. So, first of all, come on, Genie. Come home, son.
Ooh.
Yeah, you go, can I have a quick word, Genie? Look, man, it's not working at PSG. Come here on loan.
You used to play there?
Become a hero again. We're not saying you've got to stay here forever. We're saying come here and get us out of this.
Genie Wijnaldum, number 3. Again, thumbs up from me. It's another one that I like. Obviously, he's not getting the game time at PSG that he wants, and it's sounding like he may well take a loan deal to move this January window. I would take him in a heartbeat. You know, there's no hesitation on my part. The only other worry I have is he is apparently linked with a few other clubs, one of them being Liverpool. Obviously, another team that he spent a long time with in the Premier League. They have got the African Cup of Nations coming up. Players like Mo Salah aren't going to be available. They're looking for instant replacements that are going to help pack their squad, not only because of the African Cup of Nations, but also just positive cases, having the ability to field a team. So I really like that one. Massive thumbs up for the player. Again, possibility of it, I'm going to go in the middle. Again, look, 2 days left of the window, and you go, you know what, Genie? Get yourself in. No one else has approached, and maybe further down the line, this one could become a real possibility. So I would love that one to happen. Again, I'm pretty on the fence of whether I think it actually would. But let me know down below if you think Genie Wijnaldum would come back to Newcastle on loan. Can't see it being a permanent signing, but I could certainly see a possible loan deal in that one. Let's move on to number 4.
You bringing in next then to strengthen that midfield?
I'm going to bring in Aaron Ramsey for quite similar reasons. They need creativity. They need creativity. Look, the wages are another problem. Again, it's very similar. All of these three, these are all low.
Aaron Ramsey, again, he's talking about it as another loan deal, and he actually very quickly mentions probably the exact 2 points that I would like to talk about when it comes to Aaron Ramsey. First of all, creativity. You know, straight away you're looking at that and you've got 2 players there. Aaron Ramsey specifically, a player who can very quickly move the ball from A to B, can pick up the ball and drive forward. You know, that's normally what St. Max does for us, which again is why I don't like it when we play him front. He's stood with his back to goal. He's got 2 6-foot centre-backs on him. We want him on the wing where he's got space, or maybe even in the number 10, but the point is he can drop a shoulder, he can move, he can take the ball forward. It was so obvious in that Cambridge game that there was no creativity. There was no flair at all. I think Gini Wijnaldum would massively help with the creativity of keeping the ball, having possession, but also knowing when to go forward. And I just think Ramsey's a bit of, box to box, pick the ball up and can move very quickly with it and drive forward. So I really like that. Massive thumbs up. And then again, the reality of it goes back to on the fence. What's he on, 400 grand a week? I mean, wow. Trippier is reportedly on 100 grand, which is about 20 grand more than our highest paid player previously. Shelby Almira on St. Max, probably Joelinton, 70 grand. So, there's a little bit of a jump, but there's a bit of a, again, I said it already, a carrot on a string for the players. If you want to earn an extra 20 grand, play a good game. Bringing us someone in on 400 grand just completely just blows everything out of proportion. Suddenly there's players like St. Max going, well, what the hell? I'm not even anywhere a quarter of what this guy's on, which again is why it would have to be a loan. I cannot see the owners spending that kind of money. And even on a loan deal, would they pay a quarter? Would Juventus allow us to pay 1 quarter, 100 grand towards a 400 grand wage? For me, this one gets more likely the closer we get to the end of the window. Because again, it's not necessarily player, it's just all money. And if we get to 2 days before the end of January and we still haven't brought in a new midfielder or whatever, they might just turn around and go, right, fine, we'll just pay half, or we'll just pay 300 grand a week towards his wage, because the longer the window goes on, if we are able to bring in signings previously, the pressure won't be as high. But in 2 weeks' time, if we still haven't done as much as we would have liked, maybe something like this might look more possible. And that reasoning kind of is the same for the final player, which is the striker they have picked.
To the forward position then, because Callum Wilson would be up there, but he's injured.
Yes.
Let's clarify that.
Yes, and yeah, this is the thing as well, like, you have your starting 11, but you need options if people get injured, like Callum Wilson. So I think you do need another striker there. This is why Ramsey works quite well as well, right? We're going for Aubameyang. Wow. Similar reasons,
Aubameyang in a relegation battle.
So, again...
Yeah, and he's just said it there himself. I said it, he said it, similar reasons. Aubameyang loan, that is another player we have been linked with. I think obviously the worry with Aubameyang and the reason it's spoken about as a loan deal is obviously he has had a bit of a falling out with Arsenal. His attitude and his work rate are all being questioned at the moment. And the last thing we really need is to bring in someone who's going to cause more aggravation in a squad that's already struggling. So I'm a bit on the fence with Aubameyang. Again, the thing is, I can't be very picky, to be honest. We've got 3 weeks. We haven't got any strike. We have no one to play up front. Not even Gale is getting in the squad. He's our only striker, and he still can't get in the team. It's either because he's so past it, Eddie Howe would rather not play him, or possibly he's picked up a knock, or maybe he had a positive case. But I genuinely thought he would have played against League One Cambridge. Thought he was going to play, that would be the game. And the fact we still didn't play him. So we are linked with Aubameyang. We're also linked with, I think, is it Wood from Burnley? Again, let me know what you think about that one. It doesn't sound particularly exciting, but he does actually have a pretty similar record to Callum Wilson. And as I say, I'm not being picky right now. I'll take pretty much anyone. I think the Aubameyang one, again, what's he on? 250 grand a week, something crazy like that. So again, I think what you've got to get onto Aubameyang if we took him on loan is come here and prove them wrong. I think that would be the way to get a good performance out of him. But if he's personally not bothered, you can just sit on the bench at Arsenal and get his 300 grand a week. Why would he? If he has the passion and he wants to play and he wants to prove people wrong, then maybe you could do it at Newcastle. But if he's happy to sit around and get paid, then why even bother going on loan? Obviously, the striker position is extremely worrying for us. We need a striker before we play on Saturday, if that's possible. I don't think we'll sign a striker in time for Saturday. I think we will play Watford probably with St. Max up front, despite the fact that I don't agree with it. I think St. Max needs space. I think we play anyone else up front just to be a decoy so that St. Max can run around them. But anyway, let me know what you think about the Aubameyang one down below as well. Those were the 5 players that, according to Saturday Social, that Newcastle need to stay up. I mean, you got to like most of them, to be honest. I think the realistic chances of us getting some of those players are out, especially the Ligt one. I mean, wow, that's not happening. But a few of the others are a possibility. I do think the Ramsey, Georginio, Wijnaldum one and the Digne one become more likely as we move through the window. If those players genuinely want to move, I think Newcastle could potentially step in at the end and try and bag one or two of them. But let me know your thoughts down below. As always, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Drop a like and subscribe if you are new. I will be back tomorrow for Toon Tuesdays, and I will also be back this week for Premier League predictions for the weekend as well. So thank you all for watching. As always, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.